It's that time again. Time for my top something Mario Kart 8 tracks. Now, Mario Kart 8's been pretty fun. I had it for a few days now, and I've been playing it, been doing the Grand Prix, getting used to how you only have one item at a time. Kind of makes first place a little more boring because, you know, you have your defensive item, and do you use it? Do you put your banana down to try to get a speaker or something, or do you just hold on to it? I mean, usually you just hold on to it, because if you don't, you just get coin after coin after coin. Anyway, the game's really fun. It's a good one. I like the graphics. It has good graphics. Anyway, the courses. The courses are really fun. There's a few really cool standout ones, and that's exactly what I'm going to get into. So sit back and relax, and here's my top Mario Kart 8 tracks. And I'll let you know at the end how they break down with some of my existing favorites from my other list. It'll be our little secret. So, the new Mario Kart arrived, and the fans rejoice. Yes, the graphics are beautiful, and yes, it has its fair share of problems. But all in all, it's a great entry to the franchise. The new tracks are a lot of fun and have more atmosphere than most Mario Kart tracks ever have had. The retro courses have been given the same treatment, decorating them with lavish bells and whistles in conjunction with subtly, or not so subtly, changing the track layout. Battle mode is odd, but I think it's fun, at least with 12 players online, and though it may be missing some cool past features like Mission Mode or Mario Kart Wii's Remix Stage DLC, we shall see what is on the horizon and hope for some cool DLC announcements. Well now, let's get started on what I brought you here for. I'm going to break down my favorites into two categories, my top 5 brand new tracks, and also my top 5 reimagining of retro tracks. As far as the latter category goes, I'm judging how well they adapted and changed the tracks, which is what directly influences my enjoyment of them. The top 5 new tracks was a tough category to narrow down. I didn't have the luxury of stewing on the courses for months or even years to really decide which stuck with me. But I kept playing them online and in Grand Prix, and have finally decided which courses deserve some extra recognition. As I said prior, I'll share how this influences my top 20 after I go over both categories. And with that said, it's number 5! Sunshine Airport! Woohoo! You ever notice how Mario's voice just keeps getting higher and higher and higher? This is a great track all around. A wholly unique theme, fun, yet simple track layout, and a healthy dose of visual spectacle. Seeing the planes take off just above you as you're descending to the final turn is the defining moment in the course. There's a couple shortcuts in the track too, though they aren't very significant. One over the plane, and one through the conveyor belt loop at the end. The track is beautiful. In the distance you can see the entire airport in stunning detail. It's almost a shame you don't get to go to more of the airport. There's also a nifty Koopa Troopa Beach Easter egg. All in all, it's just a really solid track that deserves all the praise it gets. Number 4, Koopa Castle, Bowser's Castle for United States. You know what I'm talking about. Now, this is a first for me. If you checked out my top 20, you may have noticed I didn't include a single Bowser's Castle in my choices. It's not that Bowser's Castles are bad tracks, it's just that I usually prefer different track themes and music that came with them. This Bowser's Castle forced its way into my radar with a very cool idea of having a giant rock demon Bowser punching its way into my heart. It also has a great number of fun 90-degree angle drifts and fire obstacles. The track is beautiful, and the music is high energy and really makes the course feel lively. I almost get a F-Zero fire field vibe at one point over the lava, hearing the guitars riffing as I sped by, suspended sideways on the graded track. Electrodrome's a cool track because it has Mario Party Attack with the Shy Guy Koopa dancing in the background. I'm sorry. Number 3, This is not a track I expected to fall in love with. The theme seemed quite odd when first revealed, but as I played it, I realized just how unique and cool it is. There's never been a Mario Kart track like this, and there may never be again. The whole course has this club vibe, with Koopas and Shy Guys dancing and head bobbing in the background. The music is high energy with a motivating beat, and you even hear the spectators clapping along. The stage is visually very interesting, with sections of the track that change when you drive over them, and split paths that alter how the music sounds. I end up taking the green path, just because I like the way it distorts and mutes the music, putting me in a state of Mario Kart Racing Zen. Oh, Cloudtop Cruise, you are so fun at number 2. This is a beautiful course. It first reminded me of Beanstalk Park from Kirby's Air Ride, though this level has much greater variety, and it's just so visually pleasing. You start on some clouds surrounded by vines. You end up on one of Bowser's airships, which then blasts you onto a section of storm clouds. This is a sight to behold, as the camera spins along with you as you enter the heart of the storm. It takes an amount of awareness to hit the boost pads while dodging the dangerous Thunder Sprite, which selectively choose boost to target. You can look for the blue glow to help warn against incoming disaster. Finally, you emerge from the storm into a giant beanstalk sprouted from an enormous question mark block, rounding the corner with a fun leaf-hopping shortcut. At this point too, something beautiful happens. You start to hear this. Mario Galaxy music, which, taking all things into consideration, makes perfect sense on this stage. It's reminiscent of the gravity-bending vine traversal in Gusty Garden Galaxy. This track has everything. A good shortcut, a beautiful theme, a fun track layout, and a Mario Galaxy reference. Only one stage manages to top it, and I think you might know what that is.
Mount Wario! Ha ha ha!
I really can't do a Wario voice, I'm sorry, I failed you. Number 1!
Number...
I can't do it. Call me a sucker for one-lap courses. Call me out for being in love with all the Wario and Waluigi stages, but Mount Wario really is something special and memorable. One of the most challenging courses in Mario Kart 8, it is strewn with tight turns, constant variety, and a track that evolves in each section of the race. You start getting dropped out of a helicopter at the top of the mountain. The path is narrow, and the slopes get icy. You have a couple branching paths on the first section which you can use to your advantage. This leads into the second section of the track, which is an enormous cave with flowing water. This is the most dynamic gliding section in the game, offering boosts to those who well navigate the air, and whose kart allows them to do that. You then follow the flowing water to a dam, where you race vertically across the water and through intricately moving boost pads, then emerging into the woods. Wario's woods, you might say. Or not. The track gets very tight, and multiple paths open up. You eventually boost hopping off down trees and narrowly avoiding those that are still standing. Finally, when this part is braved, you emerge to a traditional slalom, edging through gates and grabbing coins. The corners are tight and the drifts are fun. Some moguls lend some boosting opportunities before finally reaching the final ski jump section. As the crowd cheers you on, you emerge victorious, hopefully, and take your place as conquering one of the great tracks in Mario Kart history. And just look at that view! Oh! I don't really know what to say here. but I thought I'd show you the end of the race, so yeah. Enjoy! So, that covers my top 5 new tracks. I was almost swayed by the beautiful music of Dolphin Shoals, but decided to keep it as an honorable mention. It's a beautiful track, though I find it hard to recover on the track sometimes once getting pelted by a barrage of items. It probably has my favorite music though, at least when you're on the latter half of the track. I almost wish it just played the cool music the whole time. The boosting off the eel though is a very memorable moment. Alright, now it's time to switch gears. Retro courses. There are 16 as usual, and they're some of the most beautiful remakes there has ever been. I do have some issues with the choices they made on a few of the courses, but overall, they are a sight to behold. So, let's start with number 5, a track which, although simple, swayed me with its unique addition and amazing music remix. Number 5, Retro, GBA Mario Circuit. Now, you can call me a tool, as the music was a major influencing factor in my enjoyment of the track. It just puts a smile on my face and a spring in my, pedal pushing. It is a simple track, but the fun idea of raising a section high up on a jack of sorts really made it more memorable for me. It has some nice shortcuts available too if you're willing to break through some tire blockades, and it's a fun track to navigate. They also added a great deal of visual fidelity to the original's bare bones presentation. I feel as though some like to harp in this course for how simple it is. But sometimes all you need is one really fun concept to make a course super memorable. You know, like Baby Park. And that music! Excuse me.
Yosh, take away the next one.
I think Yoshi's a little sick. Number 4, Yoshis Valley. This is one of the courses I really wanted to see make a return. If you watched my other video, you would have seen me say that I wanted it to make a return. And my wish was granted. It loses the mystery of who's first, but it also is more balanced and adds some new frills. They inserted a barrel blast and widened the track, as they usually do to account for 12 players. That's a mixed bag for me because, though it makes sense to widen, they tend to take it too far sometimes. The tight bridge is no longer tight. It's my preferred path now, but it doesn't take any skill not to fall off anymore. The path leading to the finish is also much wider, which isn't a terrible thing, but it gives the track a different vibe from its 64 counterpart. Even with my issues, the track was adapted very well, and each path is fun to take, and they made it much harder to get confused, leading you to drive in the wrong direction by adding ramps to stop you at certain points. The giant Yoshi egg remains intact, and is as odd as ever. And I'm quite pleased with the track on a whole. Number 3, Retro, Sherbet Land. A land of sherbets. Now, I almost switched this in Yoshi's Valley, as I enjoy the latter a little more. The additions to this track, however, have a much more significant impact on how your race plays out. They added 2 completely new underwater sections that complement the course nicely, and help to space out the players. It is a good way to take refuge when a racer behind you may have just gotten that triple red shell. This course has a more defined nighttime setting, which is beautiful, with accents like the Aurora Borealis, and the track is pretty close to the source material otherwise. Sadly, it also suffers from a widening, as I mentioned before, as it loses a bit of its difficulty in drifts, and the icicles are much easier to avoid this time around. Overall, it's a great update, and a more dynamic race than the original GameCube version. And that music just makes you want to whistle along with it. Hey, hey, Rainbow Road N64!
Number 2 retro.
In his house. I just don't know what to say anymore. Now, here's a course that was in need of renovation. Having not appeared on my top 20, you can imagine the original 5 minutes of endurance was not my idea of fun racing. It looks like they agreed as well, and decided not only to make the track one lap, but added a myriad of boosts, and actually in this case, made the course thinner. This is mostly a good change as it makes the length bearable, though I almost feel it's too short now. I think 2 laps would have been a happier medium. I feel like it's really hard to catch up if you at any point get bombarded on this track. Now, you probably noticed, but this track is gorgeous. It may be the most beautiful track in the whole game. Accents like the flying train with toads tossing coins, the luminous like city far below, luminous, you know, the Pokemon one, and the bouncing chomps make for an unforgettable look. Gone are the annoying small chomps that constantly bombard you, just waiting for you to zone out at just the wrong time and burn! I hate those things. And I didn't even mention the music yet. Oh my goodness, it's just... it's just so beautiful. I just don't know what to do. I think about how the music and how not everyone will get to hear it. Maybe, I mean, a lot of people will buy Mario Kart, but I don't know if they're gonna hear Rainbow Road music. It's just so beautiful. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. I love this music. And I love every kind of Rainbow Road music. Anyway, moving on. Number 1, TickTock. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about Rainbow Road music again. I just want to be on a Rainbow Road. Alright, enough of that. Did you see this coming? Not that gag. This stage. TickTock Clock is now a masterpiece. Taking an already great course layout and unique theme and making it 100 times more visually interesting, plus adding some great tweaks to the track. Well, it just can't be topped. Every second of this course is visually interesting, whether it be the rotating gears in the background, the enormous clock face in the distance, or just how intricately everything fits together. I mean, look at the difference! They added an extra pendulum and adjusted how the clock hands work so they can now be used as shortcuts. This track was widened, but it didn't hurt the track layout in this case. This is definitely the best adaptation of an existing track, and it's just so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. And there you have it. My honorable mention for retro is Wario Stadium DS, as though it wasn't the most memorable track, even though it shares Waluigi Pinball's infectious song. It was, however, a solid update with a very cool anti-gravity section that spiced up the track. Well, let's take a quick look if any of these choices would dislodge my top 20. My top 4 are secure, though I might stick Mount Wario before Delfino Square. Cloudtop Cruise may fit in between Maple Treeway and DK Jungle Parkway, and Electrodrome may fill the gap between Coconut Mall and Wario's Gold Mine. Bowser's Castle would probably be an honorable mention, and that leaves the airport in the Nether. TickTock Clock, however, might overtake Peach Gardens, but it's a hard call with Baby Park and Rainbow Road Mario Kart 7 separating it. Rainbow Road 64 would also be an honorable mention, however. If it was a little longer, it may have been a little higher up. You know, that happy medium I was talking about. That leaves the rest to fall into place accordingly, leaving Yoshis Valley as number 20, and Sherbet Land as honorable mention. There is, however, one downgrade. If I use the updated version of Royal Raceway, it would drop from my 16th all the way off completely. I don't even think I'd give it an honorable mention. My issues with this update is again the track widening. The course was made so wide it killed all distinguishable turns into boring turns. The first U-turn around the corner used to be a tough drift, and the final wrapping section to the finish was so tight I would often end up bypassing it altogether to cut through the grass for fear of slipping off into a tree or into the water on the other side. Now it's barely a distinguishable section. The course is beautiful with some nice accents like the bells on the big jump, but my issues just keep on going. The big jump doesn't feel big anymore. It seems to be less steep, and the drop is just hang gliding now, so no satisfying poop at the end. The last issue is the biggest, and perhaps the most inconsequential, actually. You can't visit Peach's castle. I was devastated. One of the defining features I spouted in my top 20 was the ability to stop by the castle, which was recreated in all its Mario 64 glory, though at the cost of losing the race. Instead of taking a cue from my idea to make it into a potential shortcut, or detour, they removed access altogether. All I can do now is stare at the gate, at that big red carpet, wishing I could just take a break from racing at the comforting area surrounding the castle. Sigh. So, in the end, it looks like Mario Kart 8 was unable to dislodge my top 4 tracks, though time may adjust how I feel about them slightly. Not Royal Raceway, though. That course is dead to me.
And there we go! My top Mario Kart 8 tracks! You like my picks? They were good picks, right? Right? You have something to say about it? Well then, post a comment. I will read your comment. Those comments are very appreciated. They make me feel loved. And not alone playing Mario Kart every day by myself. I'm just kidding. I played some last night with my good buddy. You know, if you had a fun time today, throw me a like, throw me a subscribe. I think those help in some way. And I'll see you next time. Maybe my next video will be more Mario Kart 8 track stuff. I'm just kidding. I'm done with that for now. I'm doing some new content. You be ready for that. Take care. Take care. Bye. And there we go! My top, whatever, Mario Kart 8 tracks. I hope you enjoyed yourself today. What did you think of my picks? You got better picks? Well, prove it! Post a comment with your picks. And, you know, did you like my qualms? Did you like the qualms I had with a couple things in the game? Though it's a very good Mario Kart, it's very fun. As always, if you had a good time here, give me a like, give me a subscribe. Brings a tear to my ear thinking of all the subscribers that I will subscribe, and stay fresh, eat fresh, and I'll see you next time, or maybe I'll see you online on the Mario Kart races.